try, but I'll be happy to do it if you wish. We imagine four boxes, and a leader can be in one of four boxes and tends to be in one most of the time. Um, and they are described as follow. A leader can be anxiously present or anxiously absent in the system, or the leader can be non-anxiously present or non-anxiously absent in the system. Now, the two absent pieces are interesting because one gets the impression that, well, the leader must be out of the office
Right.
and is absent. And we've got a little different nuance about that. Um, Many of us have worked with leaders who we know they're around, we know they're in the place, we know we're going to run into them periodically or maybe even regularly. We also know that they're not really present, they're not really with it. They seem to be distracted or always working on something else that or focused on something else that isn't all that relevant to what I might be doing, even though I report to the leader. Just not all that present, more absent than present. And and those two forms can be anxiously so or non-anxiously so. Can we tell if the leader is absent? I think if we're tuned up well enough, we can. It's harder to do that if they're absent, but I still think it can be done. Naturally, the um, the leader with an anxious presence creates more of the characteristics we just read in a anxious organization or gridlocked organization from Friedman. The goal to get to by a leader is to be non-anxiously present. By non-anxious, I mean a leader who is non-reactive, emotionally mature, is capable of remaining successful at critical thinking, helps people understanding the situation, and then allows them the freedom. Who is this? Peter Block, who describes leadership this way, Ed, you know him better than I,
Yeah.
allows people the freedom to complete the quote for me. I don't have it.
Oh, sure. Block would say that leaders are those that confront people with their freedom.
Confront people with their freedom.
Yeah.
So a non-anxious present leader is interested in confronting people with their own freedom, which in fact is a way of helping followers become more emotionally mature and therefore more effective performers.
And let's just talk about that word for a second, because you latched onto it earlier, and I think why do you suppose we don't hear that word ever uttered in media at all? Mature, and like we would never hear. Well, that was, or even immature. Like we don't even hear saying, well, that's an immature response. We don't even hear that concept anymore.
Words fall out of usage because they fall out of favor, or they fall out of usage because they're just misused. I think maturity may have a bit of it has sort of a critical edge to it when people hear it, and it's uncomfortable. To be accused of being immature is an insult rather than a suggestion for growth. And maybe it's a trigger word that is no longer useful in our kind of dialogue about it. I miss it. I wish I heard more of it.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. And we talked about that area that one of the signs that we're seeing that's so concerning is people equating the use of words with actual physical violence, which just to me seems so ridiculous. But that's the mode that a lot of folks are in.
Yes.
Scary,
Indeed.
scary
Yes.
stuff. All right. Well, up against our last break, again, want to remind you about the Patreon site, patreon.com/TSOE, where you can listen to the bonus episodes as well as the show commercial free. Also, the email address for the show is asktsoe